Welcome back to a very special episode of G News. Today we're going to be unboxing the BBC classic comedy The Office, the complete collection, starring Ricky Gervais. Now, if you've seen the American Office compared to the British Office, they are completely different. This one is a lot smaller, hence why there are only 4 discs. And as you can see here, every episode of the Golden Globes and BAFTA award-winning comedy from Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant. If you've seen the Ricky Gervais show, you have seen Stephen Merchant before. So it says, have you ever worked for a boss who thought he was the funniest man alive? Have you ever been stuck next to some job's worth who sucks the life out of you? Have you ever been secretly in love with someone? Did you tell them how you felt? The Office is a comedy phenomenon that reveals the cringe-worthy truth about life in the white-collar world. Follow middle manager David Brent and his family as they work hard, play hard, laugh, cry, fall in love, and perform a dance routine that fuses flash dance with MC Hammer. Every classic moment is here, from David's training day sing-along to the moving final act finale at the Christmas party. After only 2 series and 2 specials, The Office has been declared the defining comedy of its generation and a must-see show for anyone who has ever worked a 9 to 5. It does include extras. The extras are Series 1, Wraparound, the pre-pilot, The Comedy Connection, The Office, We Love The Office, web videos, deleted scenes, documentary, How I Made The Office, outtakes, video diary, Christmas special Part 1 and Part 2 with commentary for Part 2 only, documentary, The Office Closed for Business, Golden Globe featurette, If You Don't Know Me By Now, full video, full band version of Free Love Freeway. And there was a film as well which is called The Life of David Brent, where he tries to become I believe, guitarist for a band, and it doesn't really work out for him. This is a classic British comedy, and Ricky Gervais is, a phenomenon at making British comedy itself. So yes, without further ado, we're going to unbox this one today. As you can see, it was only $9.99, but without further ado, enough more of my talking, let's open this up. So inside we have the disc. So this is disc 1, the complete series and exclusive material of The Office, special edition box set. Disc 2, disc 3, and disc 4. I have this little insert as well. So how this drove every got behind the pilot stage is a mystery. So The Office is 10 years old. Well, the first episode of the series 1 aired at 9:30 p.m. on Monday night of the 9th of July 2001. So this clearly must have come out, the series must have released this special edition version in 2011, because we're in 2025 now, so this is pretty old comedy. So obviously the concept existed sometime before that. My co-writer Stephen and I filmed a BBC pilot in January 2000, and we shot our own demo version 2 years before that. It was shot in a day in the real office that I worked in for 8 years, from 1989 to 1997. I had David Brent as a character from about 1995, I'd say, and he is based on people I'd met throughout my adult life. The very first scene of the series, where he is talking to the forklift truck driver, is based on an interview I had as a temp agency when I was 17 in the school holidays. He was in his mid-30s wearing a bad suit. His opening sentence was, "I don't give shitty jobs." I just looked at him and nodded. He said, "If a good guy comes to me," he pointed at me to let me know he already knew I was a good guy, and says, "I want to work hard because I want to better myself, then I will make that happen." He phoned his friend and at one point said, "Yes, of course he's 18. Then he winked at me and did the Pinocchio nose mime. It was nothing to do with forklift truck driving, but it was for work in a warehouse. I never saw him again, but I used it to do impressions of him as I told that antidote over the years. He was the very first Brent I can remember. There have been many more since. Most of them have been on The Apprentice. David Brent doesn't represent evil or nastiness or even ignorance. He's just a little out of place, out of time. His worst crime is that he confused respect with popularity. He wanted both, but concentrated on the wrong one. He didn't really know what people wanted of him. He shouldn't really have worried about that at all. He just tried a little too hard. He wasn't a bad man. In fact, he was quite a nice man, and I have a real affection for him. I like all my characters I play or create, to be honest. I don't think you should ever feel above the role or snary towards them. Comedy is all about empathy. Empathy, in my opinion, and I think as an actor, the more you empathize with the character, the more engaging he will be to the audience. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean he is more engaging he will be to the audience. It doesn't mean he has to be perfect or squeaky clean, but he must have his foibles planted somewhere in humanity, and at some level he has to be vulnerable. David Brent was certainly that, insecure, eager to please, and needing constant positive feedback. This is why it made total sense to have him crave fame throughout the 90s. There had been an awful lot of those docu-soaps where everyday people are followed and become minor celebrities, hotel, airport, etc. It started off quite sweet with nice normal people getting a bit of recognition for being funny or interesting, but then of course people started acting up to be discovered and get their 15 minutes. By the time The Office had came along, Pop Idol and Big Brother had made people famous, the shortcut of happiness for every wannabe in the country. This trend is not slowing down either. A recent university study asked British people 10 years old what they wanted to be when they grew up, and they answered famous. But The Office was not about media in any way. It reflected some of the symptoms of society's fascination by celebrities, but it was truly about real everyday people. I resisted saying normal people because I feel it wouldn't be interesting to watch a program about normal people, particularly in Britain. We love the peculiar. The Office, like many other sitcoms before it, finds humor in the dysfunctional family. The reasons why we find the both funny and comforting is that we all belong to a dysfunctional family. If you don't, there's something wrong with you. The dysfunctional family in The Office had a lot of children, namely the men as boys and women as adults, was a recurring theme in a funny. This is funny because it's true. Men don't really grow up, and a man who is meant to be in charge and a role model acting like a big kid, and even more ridiculous. The work environment, he should know better. If he's on holiday, sorry, I missed the line. This is why it is important to always keep Brent in the work environment. He should know better. If he's on holiday at home, he can do what he wants, but when he's meant to be leading the example and he acts like a twat, it's pathetic. This is the sitcom. It's all about the situation that takes away and everything changes. Add a film crew that captures every forks pass and you've got your 10 times the embarrassment, and embarrassment is the greatest English fear of them all. The fake documentary element was absolutely essential. It reminded us why everyone was acting the way they did, heightened consequences, and above all, it made the audience connect. Brent being embarrassed is one of the things, but as soon as he looked down the lens, he brought us all into it. We felt his pain and we liked it. Sort of. You could either laugh at him thinking there, but for the grace of God, go, I fear good about yourself. You could feel good about yourself, or you could be saying, oh my God, I do that, and realize you're not the only one, and so feel good about yourself in theory. Gareth is even more of a fool than Brent in many ways, and even more immature. There's a very good reason for that. Stephen and I based Gareth on various kids we had known growing up. I talk about one of them in most of my stand-up shows. He's the one who put a crab in a pint of beer on holiday because I told him as a joke, when a crab is dunked, it walks forward. And Tim is based on people we worked with who were smart but stuck in dead-end jobs. Oh, that's a good little explanation of The Office, to be fair. But anyways, if you've enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications if you haven't done already. But I'm going to catch you all in another episode real soon. Take care.